On August 15th, 1977, a radio telescope called Big Ear at Ohio State University picked up a mysterious signal that lasted exactly 72 seconds steady, powerful, and transmitted on the hydrogen line frequency. The universal channel scientists believe any intelligent civilization would use to say, "We're here." When astronomer Jerry Eman looked at the data, he circled the strange spike and wrote just one word in the margin: "Wow." That single word became a symbol, a moment when humanity might have heard the universe call our name. For 48 years, the wow signal has never repeated. Every attempt to find it again ended in silence. Until now, because now, something from beyond the solar system has entered our skies, moving in the exact same direction that signal came from. Its name is 3I Atlas. What if that hello from 1977 is finally coming home? When Harvard astrophysicist Avi Loeb recalculated the coordinates of the 1977 WOW signal, he noticed something extraordinary. At the exact time the signal was detected, 3I Atlas, an interstellar object not yet discovered back then, would have been roughly 600 astronomical units away, traveling directly along the same line of sight toward Earth. The alignment was almost perfect. The angular difference, just a few degrees. The probability of such a coincidence happening by chance, less than 0.6%. Years earlier, the SETI Institute cross-checked 12 nearby stars in that same region of sky, searching for a possible source. None matched. But now, decades later, 3I Atlas has emerged from the exact same celestial corridor. Coincidence, or a message that took 48 years to echo back through space? If this was chance, it's the most impossible coincidence in astronomy. As 3I Atlas moved deeper into the inner solar system, scientists began to notice a series of strange behaviors, things no natural comet should ever do. First, its orbit is retrograde, moving backward against the usual flow of planets, yet it still lies perfectly within the ecliptic plane, as if it had been aimed that way. Second, it passed near Mars, Venus, and Jupiter, almost exactly on their orbital periods, a 1 in 20,000 chance of alignment. Third, it vanished precisely when it went behind the Sun, the perfect moment to do something no telescope could see. Fourth, its tail glows toward the Sun, not away from it, a reversed geometry scientists now call an anti-tail. Fifth, despite losing over 150 kilograms of material every second, its trajectory has remained perfectly stable, not even a millimeter off course. Around the same time, NASA's GOES satellites detected an unexpected electron storm, a surge of high-energy particles sweeping through the solar wind. Coinciding exactly with Atlas's approach, it was as if the heavens themselves were responding. 5. Anomalies don't happen by luck unless luck builds machines. When the James Webb Space Telescope captured the spectral signature of 3I Atlas, scientists were stunned. Instead of the typical chemical mix found in comets, mostly water vapor with traces of carbon dioxide, this object revealed the opposite: 95% carbon dioxide and only 5% water vapor. Its water outgassing rate was just 20 kilograms per second, nearly 40 times lower than NASA's expected value for a comet this bright. It simply doesn't behave like sublimating ice. One researcher described it perfectly. It's like finding a human that's 95% bone and 5% water. Maybe this isn't a frozen relic melting under sunlight. Maybe it's a system, something actively generating gas on purpose. If nature can't explain it, maybe nature isn't the one speaking Spectral data from Gemini South Observatory. Recorded on August 27, 2025, revealed something extraordinary: pure nickel without iron. In nature, those two metals are inseparable twins, born together in the hearts of dying stars. The only known process that separates them is industrial metallurgy, the kind humans use to build engines, turbines, and spacecraft. Imslinger. Traces of nickel carbonyl appeared in the spectrum, a compound once used in refining high-purity nickel for aerospace alloys. No comet should produce it. No natural rock should emit it. As one astronomer put it, nature doesn't separate nickel from iron. Factory do. And then came something else faint. Ghostly lines of cyanide drifting through the spectrum. Cyanide, a molecule of contradictions, poison to humans. Yet one of the first building blocks of life itself. And cyanide is the chemistry of both life and death. To make sense of 3I Atlas, Harvard astrophysicist Avi Loeb introduced what he calls the Loeb scale, a measure from 0 to 10, estimating how likely an object is to be artificial. 0 means purely natural, like an asteroid shaped by chance. 10 means fully artificial, an engineered artifact beyond doubt. When Loeb applied the scale to 3I Atlas, it landed at level 4, roughly a 40% chance. It's technology. He put it simply, if there's a 40% chance a car will hit you, you don't cross the street. Humanity isn't certain, but it can't afford to ignore it either. In science, even 40% can shake a civilization. On October 3rd, the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter was in the perfect position to capture images of 3I Atlas as it passed within its field of view. By all accounts, the instruments were ready, the geometry was ideal. But weeks later, no images have been released, not a single frame. Then came October 21st, the period known as superior conjunction, when Mars and Earth drift behind the Sun from each other's perspective. During this time, every radio signal, every transmission, every whisper between the two worlds is drowned in solar noise. A perfect blind spot in the network of space communication. If 3I Atlas changed course during that blackout, we wouldn't know until December, when Mars finally re-emerges from behind the Sun. They say the Sun hides many secrets. Maybe this time, one is looking back. There's a chilling idea in astrophysics known as the dark forest theory. It imagines the universe as a vast, silent forest, every civilization hiding in the shadows, afraid to make a sound, because out there, something might be listening. In that forest, survival means silence. To speak is to be found. To be found could mean extinction. So maybe the 1977 signal wasn't a hello. Maybe it was a warning, a single, desperate message that meant don't move. And 3I Atlas. What if it isn't a visitor, but the sender returning after 48 years to see if we understood? What if the forest finally answered back? No new images from the Mars flyby. No updates from Juno or the James Webb Space Telescope. Nothing from Gemini South either. Inside NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory, scientists have a phrase for moments like this. They call it caution before chaos. Because sometimes, silence isn't absence, it's containment. When science go quiet, the world listens louder. Online, millions of people are tracking every rumor, every leaked pixel, every distorted frame that might hold the truth, as if they're waiting for Earth to hear its own echo. They say silence is safety, But what if it's warning? For 48 years, we've been sending our own messages into the void. Voyager. Pioneer. New Horizons bottles drifting across a cosmic ocean, carrying our voice, our coordinates, our hope. Maybe 3i Atlas. Is one sent back? Maybe it's just ice and dust? Or maybe it's memory, something that remembers us. Whatever it is, it reminds us that in the stillness of space, we are never truly alone. Between science and silence, we keep listening. Maybe the universe never stops speaking. We just learn to listen again.